Thank you. I'm going to start the live case number 4 from Severance Hospital, Korea. The operator is Byung-guk Kim. Dr. Kim, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and moderator, chairman. And so it's really great honors to make a live demonstration in our Yonsei classroom. So especially, I would like to appreciate Professor S.V. Bach and Dogu and Complex PCI other teams. So let me introduce my team. Is my co-operator is the second operator is Professor Seung-Jun Lee, and third operator is Bom Lee. So let me start with our case. Could you? Yes, please. Thank you. Could you explain today's case, Professor Lee?
This 56-year-old male patient admitted for the reattempt of the failed previous LAD CTO. He has underwent PCI for his right coronary and circumflex 6 years ago. And he's under current smoking, and in echocardiography, his cardiac function is well preserved. Next. So 2 years ago, at the time, he suffered effort angina, so we tried angiography. As you can see here, his previous stent at the right coronary artery and the circumflex is patent, but the proximal LAD shows total occlusion and good collateral flows reaching to the septal arteries are preserved. So next. So at this time, we also tried the bilateral guiding catheter approach, and as you can see here, some very prominent septal collaterals are visible. So we can see at the areocranial view, some is from the posterior descending artery, and also in the right areocranial view, the prominent epicardial conus to septal collateral is visible. Next. So first, we approached through the antegrade approach. However, in spite of antegrade wire escalation, which is the conquest flow 12 also failed to enter into the true lumen of the DSLAD. Next. So we changed our plan that we tried the retrograde approach using the microcatheter and Sion and SUO wire. Although the target of the septal collateral is prominent, however, the entry point was quite ambiguous. As you can see here, very tortuous, and about 3 or 4 selections are possible. However, at this time point, a lot of time and contrast and radiation exposure has been expensed, so we stopped here at this time. So next. So this is the previous attempt for the selecting the septal traveling. However, it is very ambiguous, and even though the selective angiography, the septal collateral is not clear. So as you can see here, very tortuous track. So next.
Previous one. Yeah. So actually, this is the epicardial channel tracking from conus branches, but as you can see, is a tone bending and also some tortuous lesions. The wire movement had anyways some limitation. So because of some time, and patient also complained of the back pain. Is a previous PCI. We stopped the procedure, and then we prepared recently patient complained of the chest discomfort, especially exercise. So we're gonna plan to have the retry of the previous failed CTO reason. So for this CTO retries, we initially performed again of the CT scan. Could you explain the CT scan, yes, Professor Lee? Yeah.
Yes. In the CT scan, you can see the LAD total occlusion with the visible stump. However, in the reconstruction image that we acquired through our CT-CTO protocol, you can see very severe calcifications in the CTO segment, which is about 33 millimeter. And the distal ones looks very fulminant shape. And moreover, just distal to the proximal cap, there is also the diagonal branch, which implies very hard case. So next. So JC2 score is 4, which is very difficult. So we should consider the approaching through the retrograde track. So next. So as you have seen, there are two prominent collaterals reaching to the septum. One is the epicardial channel from the conus branch, and one is the intramyocardial channel from the posterior descending branch.
Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Is this figure is taken in this time or 2 years ago?
No, 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, let me summarize this case. Anyway, we try to nearly everything. The initial CTO procedures is integrate or wire escalation down, and also the mainly focused of the retrograde septal channel tracking, but some tortuous and some bended portion is wires that did not crossed, so failed. And also we considered the epicardial collateral, but the epicardial collateral, so actually I just touch in the middle portion. So anyway, we had this case for the live demonstration of retried CTO cases. So is there any comment or question of our case?
Yes, I think there are a lot of issues in this patient, and then so we have a great panelist here.
Diagnostic.
Is there any comments from the panels?
Yeah.
So I have a question about the stopping the CTO trial, CTO PCI trial. So 2 years ago, this
Yep.
patient is a very young gentleman,
Yeah.
have a complex disease. So at that time, you told us there are a lot of time spent during the first trial. So
Yeah.
how much time and how much radiation exposure and how much the contrast dye spending? Do you have your own criteria to stop the first trial?
Yeah. So actually, I think usually the maximum 2 hours is it be enough. But the previous time is in within my memory is nearly 3 hours passed. But and also the main reason why we stopped there is because I will try everything. Yeah, so meaning the retrograde approach and integrated approach, so start procedure. But Professor Che mentioned anyway some time limitation and also the some volume of the contrast is good for the stopping of the CTO procedures. Usually the more than 2 hours is not necessary, and also for the safety of patient. Yes, but previously during the various attempt, the time has many times as already needed previously.
Okay, so I think 3 years already have passed from the first trial. So, do you in this time, what do you think? Which factor is favorable for the successful CTO PCI in this patient? So, do you think the collateral circulation may be better than before? Or do you have another strategy to do something CTO PCI, because you didn't do the ADL technique at that time? So
Yeah.
is there any possibility to use ADL in this patient?
Yeah. So as everybody can consider some ADR, but usually in my opinion is RCA is conduit vessel of the treat of ADR. It's okay, but LAD and also this is the very long CTO is not so good. But maybe the last result of the CTO LAD CTO that is also is good option. So actually, the previously CTOs, I tried my best during in the integrated wire escalation with parallel wiring. and also the septal wiring also did the best. But lastly is I just said is if all failed is next time the epicardial collateral would be the good option. It was my some opinion at the time. So this time is we're gonna do the CAG again. Is anyway the antegrade approaches initial is not so good. Is anyway the retrograde approach definitely needed. Initial retrograde PCI is my treatment option. Is epicardial or septal collateral.
Okay, is there any other opinion or strategy from the panels?
Yeah. Hi, BK.
Hi,
This is
Habara.
Habara speaking.
Okay, good.
Yeah, from Japan. Yeah. So this is a second attempt case, and so distal CTO exit is not so clear. So that so of course so very difficult case, and so one choice is so I want to see the retrograde channel with so septal one. So
Okay.
last time so your group cannot negotiate this channel, but so the angle is very important, and so to check the so proximal side of the channel. So that so rotation angle maybe so may useful,
Right.
and
Yeah,
so double lumen catheter like Sasuke or something that it may be useful to select so that channel.
Well, it's a good comment, and also the in my today's case, I also my main one of the main focus of the some septal resolving, especially is like some torches or some other branch is overlapped. Anyway, we need some tool, as you mentioned, is a Sasuke is also important, and also other technique using the mark wire or mark balloon is would be good. Yes, that is also good point, and also we will discuss again this point.
Yeah.
Okay, another opinion. Okay,
So, Professor Choi, what do you think the antegrade retry or retrograde initially is a very common and basic discussion for this case?
Yes, actually, the 2 years ago, the integrated approach was almost successful, but it's a very tiny dislocation from the Truman. So I think even though it's a second try attempt, I think integrated approach can be possible in this patient because from the CT angiogram, there is a very focal full moon calcification inside the CTO segment, just the middle portion of the CTO segment. So I think the IVUS guided Truman tracking is possible in this patient. So if I were operator, I think it's better to start integrated approach first.
Okay. So really same regions. So because of the some full moon cross section of the LAD CTO. So but I had some different opinion is because of that kind of full moon cross section. So I think integrated wiring is also quite similar result as compared to the previous one. So personally the prepare these cases, I want to perform the retrograde first.
Okay, it depends on you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me explain that today's case is we already performed the CAGs. The treatment is excess is bifemoral is 8 branch and 7 branch. And could you show me the today's angiogram? Yes. So in our CTO room is a biplane room. This is the area caudal and area cranials. Can you see the today's image?
Yes, we can see very clearly.
Okay. So some CTO portion, meaning the proximal and distal portion, is really quite similar. But the caudal image is septal collateral is a little prominent, but some initial point and some mid position is very tortuous. But you can see the PD2 septal is more clear. So the we change the direction. Next angiogram. This is the cranial and spider view. So the this image also is previously some prominent is septal collateral is noted, but some banded and some tortuous portion is noted. And also, the most important one, initial start point of the this septal collateral from the PD branch is quite vague, meaning the some portion is jet-like course, or some next one is some straight one, but the very small diameter and also not so good. But from this cranial image was not so good. So, but as I previously mentioned, anyway, the septal collateral is more prominent, and also the still we can use the these corners to LAD. This collateral is also is quite promising because of the diameter. Even though the some tortuosity, but the diameter of this collateral is also good. Yeah, so this is the two images is today's angiogram.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very. We can very clearly see the better collateral, better septal collaterals compared to the 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I think you're gonna want to try the septal collateral first as a retrograde route.
Oh, yeah. So actually, the to prepare and to test of the septal collateral. So actually, I started my cases earlier because of the previously also I did maybe the 1 hour needed to test of the septal collateral. So anyways, we had some time. So I started with the septal surfing, with the septal wiring. So okay, let me explain the next slide. So the I used the Corsair Pro XS long, and then the I performed the tip injection. But from the area caudal image is we can see that definitely is some straight tortuous good septal collateral to LAD we can see. But the initial start point is very vague. From the areocranial view is also same situation. So previously the Professor Chair already mentioned is anyway the angle is very important. So we did a shade on the different angle. Next slide. This is the AP view. AP view is also is initial start point is not so clear, and also the some differentiation of the other collaterals was not so clear. So we're gonna move to the cranial view. Next one. This is the cranial view. So from the cranial view, we can see the some three different collateral. So from the some tortuous banded, and then the move to the septal and LAD. So the in this view, we started the wiring. Next one. So because of the so many bifurcated collateral, also I usually use the Xion wires. And then the wires, some advancement was not so good. Finally, some good.
Is this just a Xion wire?
Yeah, just Xion wire. Yeah, just Xion wire. But I will test again the tip injection. This on tip injection is that route is quite different one. As the from the caudal image is on the caudal view is some prominent PD2 LAD collaterals. This is not matched. Next one. And then we redirection, next one, like this. Again, this is also is a cranial view. So, and then we move to the caudal view. So from this caudal view is a definitely different
Yes.
collateral channel. So on the cranial view is some portion would be good or not, but not so clear. But the caudal view is very good. So previously, Habara mentioned, so because of this kind of situations, we need some mark. Yeah, so based on this wire, mark wires, and then using the Sasuke and also reintroduce the Corsair with a different wire. Next one. Yeah, this is the some septal surfing like this. This definitely is some other branch is already different wires occupied. This is the new wire. This is also is shown, and then yeah. But as I firstly mentioned, this angle is very steep. Is 180 directions, and then come back like this. So I moved to the Pro XS. I just feel of some prolapse of the this wire. Next one. So like this. So I retrieved a little is a Corsair Pro, and then very luckily wire moved to the main of the septal collateral like this. Next one. And then wire go into the LAD. And also is Corsair direction is overcome the some banded portion. And next one. And
Yeah.
Corsair advancement is also was easily at this time. Yeah, so using the Mach wires anyway, we successfully perform of the retrograde septal wiring.
Yes, thank you. It's a very good technique. So the mark wire can make some anatomical distortion to enter the second wire easily enter the septal channel. And it's a very good demonstration of the septal selection. So what if the Corsair Pro Access cannot be passed in this acute angle? Did you have another? Did you change it? Did you want to change the catheter, or so you use just the right Judkin catheter for the retrograde guiding support? Is it support? Is it enough to support?
Yeah, so this guiding is M plus catheter. Is
Oh,
a
M plus,
7.2.
yeah.
Yeah. M plus, and also the you can see the some engage is very good. Is anyway the backup is no problem. But as you worried about some advancement of the Corsair Pro Access is initially the proleptic movement of the Pro XS was noted, but the wire is a little bit advanced, and then the very gently redirection is re-navigated into the some septal route is very easily moved to the septal collateral.
I think you are half on the way to successful CTO PCI. So
Did you use a Xion wire
Yeah.
for the other?
So usually I always use the SO03, but this case is the some point of the whether the wire prolapsed or not. So the reason why I use the keep on using of the Xion, and also the some the collateral diameter was not so diameter was so good. So in my opinion, is Xeon would be enough. So, yeah, so I just navigated finally successfully using the just the Xeon wire.
Okay.
Okay,
Keep
so
on. Yeah.
yeah,
Ongoing.
next, yeah,
Yep.
next. So this is the tap injection of the retrograde Corsair Pro. So you can see the some diagonal was noted, and also we can clearly see the distal CTO stump, and also the some scattered calcification was also noted. Next one. Yeah, and it's a simultaneous injection. So maybe the some nature of the diagonal branch is definitely comparing of the CT scan is there is the usually the some breaching collateral is proximal stump is really at the tip of the passing the septal channel, septal branch is some blunted portion is a proximal segment. Is next one. This is the shown black. Is the but the you can see the some image of the calcification or angiogram is a wire tip also was stuck, and then next one.
Actually, the usual procedure is preparation of the antigrade approach,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
try.
Yeah.
You didn't prepare the antigrade wire
Right.
in this patient.
So the reason why is some contraction of the heart is when we waiting the time is waiting the some movement of this device is anyway the Corsair and then the inner wire is moved back. So the just I want to fix of the this wire into the distal cap. Next one. Yeah, so the Corsair is a little bit advanced. And then, as Professor Che mentioned, we studied the antigrade preparation. This is the antigrade injections. So you can see is beside some some breaching collateral, there was no flow, meaning the some presence of microchannel is definitely absent in this this image. Next one. So I started of the hybrid wiring. The is a initial antigrade wire was Gaia Next 2. And also the retrograde wire is just shown black. Next one, the wire a little bit advanced, but like this. Yeah.
Yes.
So the actual.
I have
Yeah.
a question about the retrograde wire. So you now you are using the Xeon black.
Yep.
Actually, the retrograde wire. So usually the other something not to damage it or not to make a big hole to not. So usually the UB3 or something.
Yeah.
The
So good,
reason
right,
why
right.
the Xeon black can make a dissection and
Yeah.
it goes easily go to the first lumen.
Okay. It's good point. So is this is just a check of the some nature of distal cap. Yeah, but I just touched it previous one. Yeah, so the wire did not move it. So the before using UV3, I changed the retrograde wire into the XTR. Next one. Yeah, so this is the Gaia Next and XTR, but you can see some plane did not match it, right? Yes, but the two wires maybe on the classification plane. So I just moved the antigrade wire, retrograde wires a little bit advanced and retrieved, advanced, retrieved. Next one. And next one. Yeah. Next one. Next one. Yeah, so you can see some middle portion was bended, meaning the distal cap.
Yes.
We can know the CT scan. Also, distal stump has some calcified is really a half moon full moon case. Is
Okay.
next one. So antegrade preparation again with the caudal view. Next one. Next one. Next one. Yeah. This is cranial view. So maybe that kind of portion is, I think, a tool, especially antegrade wires, maybe the first lumen. That's the next one. So luckily, the XTR retrograde wires a little bit advanced. Is on the area of cranial view is maybe not so bad. Next one, but we need the antegrade wire positioning. Next one. Next one. Yeah. So this is the now the situation. So the antegrade wiring and antegrade core cell may be advanced if I push, but the retrograde wires and retrograde core cells, I think the advancement is some kind of difficulty we have.
Yes,
Yeah.
we can see the retro wire has buckled in the just distal part, just outside of the microcatheter. So that means there is not enough supporting power. So I think it's better to change the distal wire from XTR to the others. So what do you think about it?
Okay. 우리 환자분 잠깐 봐주세요. Yeah, so I fully agree with the Professor Che opinion. So I just changed it in the UB3 wires for the retrograde wiring.
So why here is change and try to recanalize the Truman wiring. So is there
Okay.
any comment or question from the panels? Dr. Habara, what is your favorite, what is your choice of the wire from the retrograde right now?
Yeah. So in this case, is so XTR is one choice, but so XTR core is very weak, so that so we cannot advance so retrograde microcatheter. So that so next step is so change to the so more bigger core wire, so that so UB3 or NL3. So that so at that time, so we have to escape the risk of the so vessel perforation of the retrograde. So that I usually use so Miracle Neo 3.
However, in Korea,
Yeah.
is Miracle Neo 3 is
Yeah.
unavailable. So what's the
Yeah.
main good point of the main benefit of the Neo 3 series?
Yeah.
Could
so
you
that,
explain?
Yeah. Miracle Neo 3 is so the tip of the so wire tip is so not so shaped, so that so blunt type. So that so vessel perforation is the risk of the vessel perforation is very low. And so UB3 is also very sleepy, relatively sleepy wire compared to the so Miracle Neo 3. So that so in this situation we usually use Neo 3, but also if it is not available, so UB3 is one choice, I think.
Okay, so if the UB3 fails, what is the next choice of the wire?
So if the UB3 could not advance, so I advance at antegrade wire. Because so this case is vessel course is relatively so bending. So usually so negotiate the antegrade or negotiate retrograde. So wire manipulation is usually better antegrade manipulation. So I usually if so it is difficult to up to the retrograde wire, I change to the antegrade wire.
So So in this case, if the anti-grade wire is located at the first lumen and also the retrograde wire located at first lumen, so we're going to use the balloon technique. So what is the best place for the balloon reentry point? So from the proximal, actually the proximal part of the CTO may be the best site for the reentry. What do you think about this?
Yes, of course. Calcified point is difficult to connect undergrad and retrograde wire. So that's cardiac CT shows distal point is there is a so hard calcified plug, so that relatively proximal or mid portion is better.
Yes, and also there is a big diagonal branch and just distal to the distal cap of the CTO. So if the dissection will occur in the distal part of the CTO, then make damage to the diagonal branch ostium. So I think the proximal, at least mid part of the CTO, is a good location for reentry.
Yes, that's a very important point, I think.
So that's the reason. So I think we need more strong wire in the distal retrograde approach.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the UB3 is also had some kind of stop feeling. Yes, the Y movement was so good, not so good. So this is diagonal.
Yeah.
So what do you think the next wire for the retrograde wire?
So for me, I think it's a more stiff wire, such as Gaia.
Gaia?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will change to the Gaia next two. Next two, please.
Okay, Gaia next to will be the good choice for this patient. So we can see some calcium
Yeah.
inside the CTO segment. So
Right.
I think retro wire is around the very very near to the true lumen.
True
But
lumen, right.
yeah. But the anti wire may be far from the true lumen. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the anti-grade wire is located in the previously
Okay,
first lumen, really same position. So definitely agree that we need some wire movement of the retrograde wire is very important. And with that markers, we're gonna need reduce some gap between these two wire.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't have a dual plane angio machine in my case room. PK Kim looks like use the dual plane cine angio very freely. Do you prefer to CTO PCI in dual plane cine?
Yeah, surely.
All time?
So
Yeah.
yeah, usually some elective cases that I want to always use the biplane, and also some definitely to reduce the contrast volume.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I think this wire is in the true lumen space. Yeah.
So the reason why is the biplane is important. Anyways, I will check if this is the areocranial view is simultaneously we can see the is areocranial view is areocranial view. So maybe what do you think, the Professor Chaz? Maybe the retrograde wire is more closer to true lumen, as you initially mentioned, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if it is not true remand, we can have another chance to make the true remand navigation from the integrated wire. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, what do you think? This X portion is not so good for the reverse cut. What do you think?
I think this location is good for reverse cut to make
Or
yeah.
redirection of the integrated wire?
I think it's very difficult to redirect the entry wire because there's already have a big dissection plan in the integrated. So I think it's right time to do the balloon. And then, do you have IBUS? It is possible, you can make sure from the proximal part of the CTO, it is inside the Truman or not.
But I think in Korea available IBUS one is the tip too long is not so good for the evaluation of the tip location. 예. 나 적어주세요. 2.0 앵커 발론.
So Gaia Next 2 is also very strong wire. Do you feel any resistance in the retrograde Gaia wire?
So not so strong. Yeah. So I just stopped is some advancement of retrograde wires.
Yes. So I think this is a live demonstration case. So BK Kim wanted to show the whole screen for the audience, but this practically you can make a collimation and then make a small radiation for the patient and to the operators.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. 안 나왔지? 네, 자, 그럼. 올려. 어떻게 해봐? 좋아. 그냥 쓰자.
So sometimes during the CTO PCI, the flushing of the retrograde integrated guiding catheter is very important because sometimes it can the thrombus can be occurred in the guiding catheter. So, so every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes, we have to flush the guiding catheter from retrograde and antegrade. So it is a very the routine procedure. Sometimes we easily forget about that. So it can make a big complication. But the routine procedure, we have to check it, double check, and from the first operator and second operator and the other steps inside the cath lab. It's very important to avoid making the complication.
A 타입 주세요. 그냥 2.0 주세요.
Dr. Kim, would you check the coronary angiogram after removing the anterograde wire? Check the coronary angiogram or...
Yeah, actually, during the CTO PCI, the antegrade contrast dye injection is sometimes not good for the whole procedure because if there is some big dissection from the antegrade, so the dye injection can make dissection bigger and bigger. So it is not generally recommended. So
small dose and slowly.
yeah, yes, sure. It's very cautiously. And so anyway, so Dr. Kim, what
Yep.
do you do right now?
Yeah, so actually, I want to do the reverse cut. It's just using the anchor already used 2.0, but the 2.0 balloon did not close, so I changed the new balloon.
Same size, 2.0?
Yeah, yeah. Look. Okay.
Dr. Havara? So what
Yeah.
do you recommend in this stage? What is
Yeah.
next step? So
So
balloon cannot be passed?
maybe so this is a 2.0 balloon.
2.0 balloon?
2.0 balloon, yeah. So one choice is also more small balloon, so 1.5 or something.
Right.
But if the so you can negotiate, you can easily make change the route of the so retrograde wire. So this point is so reverse cut point should be one choice, another choice. Yeah.
I have a question for panel. Congratulations, Dr. Kim. I think you're making very good progress. At this point, is any panel thinks that the wire marker technique using a more directed, because we know the position of the distal cap, any panel thinks that if you use a more directed controllable wire integrately, any chance that you think we can integrately wire into the true lumen using a wire marker technique? Or you think that because of calcium, a reverse cut will be more possible?
1.5.
Because we haven't tried compress. How about compress wire integrately using the retrograde wire as a marker? Any panel think that that could be a attempt?
Yes, maybe it is one of the option to use the more stiff wire from anti-gradely, such as Concast Pro, and then advanced wire into the full segment of the CTO, whether or not this wire is located inside true lumen or not. So, but the more deeply advanced the wire is a better way to make a good dissection to use reverse guard technique.
Retrograde Corellino may be an option for this calcified lesion.
So I think some wire arrangement was not so good. So if this balloon was okay, the balloon is not successful. Yes, I use again of the Corsairs, some redirection of the some wires. The reason why I use initial for the reverse cut is I frequently use the small balloon. Yes, anyways, we gonna have some another chance to make some way. But initially, is the big balloon is sometimes a very big dissection and hematoma is sometimes retrograde PCI is definitely failed.
Yes.
So
it's a very good point. Yeah. So
Excuse me, would you show me the first LED angiogram? Can you show me?
Angiogram,
Yeah, first checked.
initial
Yeah,
angiogram.
initial angiogram.
Yeah. 2.0 앵커 벌룬자. 우리 이니셜 엔지오그램 좀 보여주십시오. 이점 한번.
Thank you.
보세요.
Dr. Kim, what
Yep.
size of balloon are you use?
Just for anchoring is I usually the first economic use is 2.0 I prefer. Yeah, just balloon. No. So not so heavy calcified lesion is sometimes only one 2.0 balloon is enough for the preparation of CTO reason. So and also is a recent is a new balloon is for example is a relay balloon. Yeah, is very good for both use.
Yes, I agree with your opinion. So using the smaller balloon is good for the the outcomes of CTO intervention. But it depends on how closely located the two wires inside the vessel
저기 좀
structure.
주세요.
So
콜세요. 짧은 거.
using the
콜
corsair and redirect wire, so relocate wire as close as possible. It is very
right.
important.
Yeah, right.
Yes, I agree with Professor Chow. So that so in this situation, I want to see the IBUS. I want to check the distance from the underground wire and the retrograde wire,
Okay.
if available. Yeah.
Right. So good. So the for also is IBUS evaluation. Anyways, we need some dilation needed. So for the balloon dilations, I also perform of the advancement of the initially needed of the Corsair. So okay.
Okay, Dr. Kim, while
Yep.
you're trying to navigate the wire and balloon, we gonna have a lecture session.
Okay.
So yeah, see you and after lecture.
Okay.
So,
See you.
The lecture is recorded. The title is a featured lecture. So my approach to CTO, master's skills secret. The lecturer is Toshiya Muramatsu.
Today I talk about my choice of CTO guide wire. Great approach of CTO. Important issue is the analysis of reading of CTO anatomy, and second one is the progress of the CTO guide wire. From a jacket and new innovative guide wire. And third one is the parallel wire technique. Progress of the CTO guide wire. Undergrad wire-based approach. The anatomy of the CTO region is important for the proximal cap and the CTO body and distal cap. The anatomy of the proximal cap, if there has visible microchannels, we have to choice of the tapering polymer jacket wire and step up to the intermediate wire. And if the tapered proximal cap and the low penetration choke wire and step to the intermediate penetration force wire. And if the proximal cap has a brand type, And we have to choose of the intermediate at first and step up to the high penetration force wire. In the CTO body, the length of the CTO body less than 20 milligram, 20 millimeter. We have to choose of the continue used to the crossing wire to the proximal cap. And if the length more than 20 millimeters, once the step down into the CTO body to the arrow profile force wire. And the CTO distal cap, if the CTO distal cap, the very hard distal cap, we have to choice of the more steerable wire to the penetration for the distal fibrous cap. And the characteristics of the guide wire structure, the important issue is the shaft performance and the coil structures, especially for the lobe coil structure. For example, the Gaia series, and the tip designs, tapers or tip coating and the tip rod, and the coating, the hydraulic slip coating, and polymer jacket coating. Theory of the parallel wire technique. In the case of the parallel wire technique of LED CTO, the first wire deviated to the left side to the distal true lumen. The second wire deviated to the right side to the true lumen, and trying to the second wire negotiated into the finally get into the true lumen of the aerial view. This is the schema of the guide wire movement. The first wire at first deviated to the left side to the true lumen, and the second wire also deviated to the right side to the true lumen. Finally, we negotiate the second wire get into the true lumen, looks like into the aerial view. And angiographic view change from the aerial view to the aerial view. The second wire deviated to the upper side to the true lumen. And also we have to negotiate the second wire getting the true lumen to the distal true lumen of the aerial view. And angiographic view change from the aerial view to the aerial view. Also, the second wire looks like into the distal true lumen. And finally, the second wire smoothly get into the distal true lumen. This is the final angiography. The successfully CTO was done. This is the schema of the parallel wire technique in aerial view. And second wire also the deviate to the upper side to the distal true lumen. And so in management, manipulate, go down to the distal true lumen, and finally get into the directly into the distal true lumen, and are also change back to the aerial view. The second wire directly negotiated into the distal true lumen. This is the retrograde approach of the CTO. The issue is first of all the collateral channel crossing, and the two channel was promoted, the septal channel and the epicardial channel. And after that, Then we have to the CTO crossing, CTO evaluation and reverse cut technique, and knuckle wire technique is sometimes very useful. And finally, if the wire going to the sub-intimal space, you have to the sub-intimal stenting. My favorite channel tracking guide wire was shown here. If the channel is straight, the septal channel, we have to first choice is the C-on wire, also the SO03 wire. Epicardial channel, we choose the SO03 wire. If the channel is very tortuous, the first choice is the SO03 wire, even in the septal or epicardial channel. Sometimes epicardial channel we change to the C-on black wire. And if the acute vent channel, the first choice also the SO03 wire, septal and epicardial channel. And second choice is the C-on black wire. And at the invisible collateral channel, even in the septal channel, we try to use XTR wire. And epicardial channel, we don't have try to the invisible epicardial channel. The case of very tortuous epicardial channel CTO, the right coronary CTO and the epicardial channel was negotiated from the LAD distal part. The LAD cranial view, the epicardial channel very tortuous, looks like very tortuous. And aerial view, another collateral channel from the circumflex epicardial area, but this channel is very tortuous, and we don't successfully cross the CX epicardial channel. And we change to try to LAD epicardial channel using by the SO03 plus calibra micro catheter, and gently try to close to advance to the distal. Sometimes we check angiography and practically point to the distal to just epicardial channel. And sometimes change to the aerial view, and it looks like a very tortuous and supported by calibra wire, calibra microcatheter, and sometimes change to the aerial caudal view, and very tortuous, but the gently smoothly get into the epicardial channel using by the SO03. Finally, the SO03 wire reach to the right coronary distal room. This is a schema of the channel connection, the wire, and antegrade side. At the first trying to the wire escalation, the first choice wire is XTR, step up to the guide first, then the second, and finally conquest pro. And if we failed the wire escalation from the antegrade side, we try to the retrograde side. The connection guide wire is at first the ultimate bro 3, and sometimes using by the C-on black. And if we failed, we try to use the knuckle shape, the C-on black. And also the antegrade side trying to the knuckle C-on black, and try to the successfully the reverse cut and finally externalized by the RG3. Shame. This is an example of the duct wire guide extension method for the right coronary CTO. The right coronary ostium CTO supplied by the collateral channel from the LAD septal channel. And first of all, try to the channel negotiation using by the sector channel. After that, successfully pass the further channel. And trying to the reverse cut of the right corner CTO ostium side. And reverse cut was not successfully done. And I changed to the guide extension method. The guide extension push into the right coronary ostium side and trying to catch the retrograde wire directly get into the guide extension catheter, and finally successfully catch to the retrograde wire into the guide extension catheter. And the final angio is a very nice. This is the schema of the knuckle wire plus guide extension method. And the retrograde wire trying to the knuckle shape, and reverse cut, trying to reverse cut, and finally the guide extension wire across into the true from the right corner ostium, and finally catch the retrograde wire directly into the. My concern about reasonable visual operator, first of all, the patient person in the sincere attitude and eager to try to the intervention, and very cool of the brain and expectations, and humble and face oneself. The conclusions. The development of the CTO guidewire is dramatically and first and innovative. Recently, the retrograde wire approach of the CTO has a big impact for the failed anti-grid approach. New technique and strategy has been progressing. The CTO PCI has expanded for the worldwide. Thank you for your attention.
Lecture about the guidewire selection during the PCI intervention. So because we are far behind the schedule, so can I close this session or? Yeah. Yes. Okay. So, Dr. Kim, we are back. We are back.
Okay.
So please explain what did you do?
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you show me the slide? So so Professor Che mentioned redirection of the some anterior guide wire, not just proximal cap, it's just the middle portion is previously X-bitted portion like this. And next one. So in this time, in this step is antegrade Corsair Pro X is very smoothly moved, and also is I think the wire gap is a little bit reduced. So close. Next one. So this is the RAO image. You can see the even though the antegrade wire advanced is the two wires distance is I think a little bit reduced. Next one. So if that is the wire also is some parallel portions we can see. So I performed the reverse cut using 2.0 balloon. The initial some try is failed, and I changed the directions. You can see maybe this during the reverse cut is biplane image very good.
Yeah.
So I can on the area image depleted, and then the some wires navigated, and then the wire advanced. So I just stop and this, and then maybe if that is we can evaluate IBUS. So in this set, in this step is I perform the IBUS evaluation. So can you show me the IBUS? So to identify and to evaluation of the distal wire locations. Yes, from yes, you can see the 9 o'clock is in true lumen, is retrograde, we can see. Yeah, so, and also the wire position of retrograde is so good. Next one. So I gently moved to the integrate the guiding tip. Next one. Wire advanced. Next one. Next one. So the initial some trial is wire entering. I failed. I just used the telescope. Next one. Next one. So you can see a little bit. Next one. Last one. Yeah. So the using telescope is maybe the left main is so big. Some gap is some kind of limitation to enter the integrate guiding system, but using the supporting device is very easily enter the wire.
Yes, what amazing procedures, and you nicely demonstrated how do the reverse card technique in this very difficult CTO patient. So, what is next step? Please explain your next step, and we're gonna close this session.
Okay, so the maybe from our KCTO club, so we had so many discussions with Professor Che and then the Professor Hyuk-jun Yoon. So the reason main focus for the successful reverse cut. So even though sometimes we had a very tired of the long time, but step by step, meaning the initial small sized balloon. So and also Habara mentioned sometimes is IBUS evaluation is very good to decide the balloon size. If not possible, is a small size would be better initial start, and then after successful reverse cut is that time. Now that next time is the some kind of imaging evaluation using the IBUS. So I will do the externalization with RG3. I will evaluation using the IBUS evaluation. And then the better size, I will decide the stand size, stand length. Yeah, so that is my future plan.
Thank you for your nice demonstration. And I'm gonna close this session. Thank you for all the participants and attendees. Thank you very much.
Thank you.